Today's session, Srikanth, what we'll do is we'll basically go through the some transactional data, and what we'll do is what are the different elements, order elements, are there in subscription order management, whether that's
Mhm.
item categories, copy controls, number ranges, and in some transactional data. So last week we had master data, which was basically business partner, contract account, which basically drives your transactional data, how it flows in the system, and also your further processing, like billing, invoicing, payments, etc. Your contract account and
Mhm.
your business partner will how it gets from SOM to CC and then to CI. So what
Yes.
we'll do today is we'll go through transactional data, which is basically your customers or clients create in the system, like an order, a solution quotation, a subscription contract, and master agreement, and then we'll move on to the order elements, basically. Okay.
Okay.
So as part of transactional data, we have these four elements. One is solution code. Then we have the subscription or provider order. So we also call it as, but we'll stick to subscription order. The
Yeah.
subscription contract, which in SOM it's called subscription contract. Then when it flows to CC and CI, it calls it's basically the provider contract that gets replicated. We have
Okay.
the master agreement, and so we'll start with solution quotation first. Okay. So
Yes.
the solution quotation, your standard transaction type, which is internal to SAP, this is SRVP. Okay. So there are
Mhm.
different transaction types for all these four types of transaction data. For solution code, we have SRVP, which is the standard transaction type. Okay.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
you can use basically what you do is how we use solution quotations. It's basically to sell packaged solutions to all your customers by basically you create a quote for combinations of different types of products. You can have a bundle product. It can be a tangible product. It can be services. It can be a subscription item. It can be a sales item. So you can basically club multiple products and you can sell package solution to your customers via that solution quote. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
So let's say, for example, a sales rep, which you have a call with a sales rep, and they want to sell you a tablet, basically, so that tablet or a laptop, it will include a service for installation. It will include a service contract, which is like a warranty or something, and it will also give you a subscription contract. Basically, if you want to have any cloud storage or data storage service which is available, so you
Yeah.
can design a product, let's say laptop care or notebook care, and you can package all these products within that. So you have your requirement in that. So you can select solution code to see your basically your notebook bundle kind of a thing. Okay.
Okay.
And what we can do is it can also be used to sell physical goods in combination with service transactions and with subscription order. So
Mhm.
and what happens is that you have this transaction type which is there. So what happens is once you in the there is an action profile which is set on this, and whatever outcome is there, as in the follow-on documents or anything, that gets triggered based on that action profile. So if you see after the solution quotation gets accepted, the follow-up transactions are basically you can have a sales order, a service order, and a service contract. It gets created automatically based on whatever parts or whatever product you have in the solution code.
Yeah.
So this is internal to the upgrade. So what happened is that solution quotation was included in 1809 and it has been improved. So basically the integration, and there were much more upgrades which were done in 1809 FPSO1 and
Yes.
also 1909 system.
Yeah.
When you click the accept button, basically there is an accept button for solution code. Your follow-up transactions will be generated, and this is implemented using the action. So the action profile of the solution quotation is this one: service underscore quotation underscore prod underscore pkg. So you can use this action profile to basically see how your follow-up or your outcome gets generated, or your of your solution code, the follow-on documents.
Okay.
Okay. This is something like which we have created. So let's say this is how a solution quotation looks. So if you're creating a solution quotation from scratch, then you have your quotation details, and inside this quotation details, you'll have at item level, you'll have this particular screen where you can add all your products. So if you see here, we have a notebook bundle which is added here. Okay, first I'll come to item level later. But in terms of your header, which is basically your quotation details, you can have a this transaction ID is something which is generated after you accept it or you save it. Okay. Then
Mhm.
external reference can be anything. Let's say you want something to be linked to an external system like Salesforce or any external system. So let's say if your data is coming in from, let's say, Salesforce, and you want to link an external reference like say your purchase order number or something, you can include that in this external reference over here. Okay,
Yeah.
in
Mhm.
this field, your description is something which is self-explanatory. You just provide a description. You have a sole to party, and you also have an employee responsible, so that there are contact and employee responsible. And then in your dates, you have this particular validity. So ideally, what I see is a solution quote is usually given 6 months acceptance, as in you can have the quote valid for 6 months, but you can change the duration. That is not an issue based on
Okay.
your transaction and your let's say you have your dates in the transaction type, so you can go ahead and change that. At your
Mhm.
item level, if you see, we have this example of a notebook bundle. So you have this tablet basic, which is basically since it's a tangible product, this is a sales item. Okay, since this,
Yeah.
so a sales order gets created for this in a follow up. You have a support contract, which is kind of a service contract. Let's say you want support based on whatever, if there are any issues or anything, it's kind of
Mhm.
like, so this is a service contract item. Okay, then your notebook installation is like a one time, and this is also a service item. Okay, and
Yeah.
this is based on your product, which is the unit is basically per piece. Let's say one piece, one as per your whatever quantity is there. And your cloud storage is basically a subscription item, and this is a recurring. So let's say if you want 1 GB of data, or 100 GB cloud storage for 1 year, or for 1 month, in that case, based on whatever product you have, you can basically use that product, and based on that particular recurring service or recurring fee, your contract net value gets created.
Okay.
If you see, this is the contract account. So usually what happens is, if you see, as part of, since this is a part of a bundle, you will find that the contract account gets replicated from the product bundle itself. So whatever product bundle you add here, you can see that that gets replicated over here. So this is a
Okay.
status. There is also a status item over here. Okay, so if you see here, there is a release all items icon over here. So what you do is, once everything is done, you can release all items, and then this status goes to released. Once your status goes to released, you can either save, and then you can act. So first you save it, and then you accept it. Once you save it, you'll see that a transaction ID gets generated internally, and you can come back and you can either send it for authorization. If you, let's say, you don't have authorization to accept a solution quotation which creates follow-on documents, you just save
Mhm.
it, and then let's say you have someone like your manager or your a sales higher person in your organization who will actually review what data you have put, and then they will accept it. So once you click on accept, only then the follow-on documents get created for this. It's not that if you save it, you'll only see that it is internal to solution quote, and only a transaction ID gets generated for that particular quote. Also, so if you see here, there is a price accumulation which happens over here at bundle level. Okay, if you see there is a cumulative price which gets replicated at bundle level. So that can
Right.
be, if you see here, it is 1200 plus 60 plus 50 plus 14. It is the 649 plus 15 plus 1200 plus 50. So that is your cumulative net price for this particular solution code. Now for recurring charges, we see that we have this particular okay. So we have another one. Let's say I'm using another product. Let's say it's
Mhm.
bundle with recurring usage with the same thing. As in, if you have service, let's say if you have a subscription item and a recurring fee and a sales item. So let's say along with your laptop or your tablet, what I'm doing is I'm providing you a cloud unlimited usage, which is basically a recurring fee. If you see here, the subscription item, the item category is subscription item recurring. Add part of your usage. Again, this is basically a usage. Since this is usage, this will not have a price associated with it, because this will depend on what usage you have. So let's say, and this will flow from an external system. So this does not flow from your solution code. But you see that whatever usage comes in, it will be linked to this particular contract item which we have over here. And you have the activation fee. So this is kind of a one-off. So it's a subscription one-off item. Item overview fee, it basically, if you see, it remains same as the respective view in the subscription order. So if you see here, let's say if your solution quotation for line item 30, if I go to the item level, we have this general data. And if you see here, all this gets replicated. So basically, you have a contract start date, contract end date, a net value, and all these. So you have fulfillment status, price details, contract account. All this gets replicated. This is the same for all the subscription items which you have. You'll see the
Mhm.
same header fields for everything. Let's say for usage, if you see, there is we have this particular field which is usage. You don't find any net value or gross value over here because this is usage. This comes as and when you get the usage, right? So if you see here for this, we have this technical resource ID which we were speaking about earlier, right? If you remember in the last
Uh-huh.
meeting, what I had
Yeah.
said is that whenever there is usage, always there will be a technical resource ID associated with it. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you see here, we have two technical resources. So basically, and we have these particular convergent charging tables. So this is something internal to CC. But then what we see is that while usage, these particular there are different tables. Let's say you have. I'll just give you an example. Let's say in your contract you have, or in your quote in this particular as per usage, you have three levels of usage. Okay, one is, let's say you are a premium customer. If you're a regular customer, and if you're, let's say, a first time user, something like that,
Yeah.
first time user. Okay. So for premium, let's say I'm using it only for this particular, this table gets created in CC, but it can be replicated to some via the charge plan. If you see here, so we have all these tables included here.